remember the box of cards? Well, you know, if we bind up the corners, then now we don't have that tendency for the stuff to separate. We also don't, by also getting the chains in front of it, we aren't allowing the pieces of steel, if you were to slam on the brakes, to come telescoping out of the bundle. Because this stuff is, you know, think about it, steel. Smooth steel on smooth steel, you know, it could very easily separate.
I have a question about your cross chains up here.
I'm about to explain the cross chain.
Well, I was actually going more on the padding. Should the padding be laid actually over the front of this instead of the way that is?
Could be, yes.
Okay.
Yes, could be. You definitely pad. Usually the steel that we're talking about doesn't require that. You're really kind of padding more to protect the securement than you are to protect the product, because you know, big plates of steel like that, they're going to cut them up into other stuff. They're pretty rough.
So okay, so a little bit of rubbage is not going to hurt it.
Yeah, you're not going to hurt it.
Okay.
With chains. That's pretty rugged stuff.
And this is all from being chained down. And
yeah.
Every plate of steel is going to look like this when it comes off.
They pretty much come like that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll try to minimize it, obviously.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, you're wanting to protect your chain from that pressure point than you are. Oh, you're going to hurt the steel. So. Like I said, this stuff's pretty rugged. Okay, so now to create the cross chain situation, this is kind of similar to chain 1 and chain 2 on the shotgun coil. What we're going to do is we're going to start on the rub rail, and I usually don't even like to go that far back. Sometimes people, when they do their cross chains, they feel like they've got to pull the product back, when in reality what you're doing is kind of just creating a wall in front of the product to keep it from moving forward. So this attachment point right here, I probably would move up here, or get
really that far forward,
or maybe not. It depends on what it is. So here or here. That might be too close to the front, but you don't want to get too far back. So then that chain is going to run underneath the product up to the front, and then once that chain gets to the front, it's going to come back up over the product, and this is still chain 1. Chain 1 attached over there, a little bit forward, comes over the product, and then it's going to get attached here on the other side, but a little bit further back than where it attached on this side.
Okay.
So what you've got is an asymmetry here. You've got a little bit forward, comes under, comes to the back. So it's not symmetrical. Where your symmetry comes in is when you put chain 2 on, because chain 2 should mirror chain 1, just coming from the other direction, which is then going to make your cross chain symmetrical. Now, a little note here, when you go to tighten this up, it doesn't have to be that tight. It can almost be just a little bit more than hand tight for a cross chain situation, and you're okay. Because when this comes into effect is when, if stuff is actually going to move, and that's going to, you won't have slack in it, but again, it also doesn't need to be doing it. Plus, you want to tighten everything else up in between, because if you tried to tighten this up before anything else was tightened up, obviously you're going to be pushing that towards the back. Last thing.
So you're doing up front and then the back, then the sides, right?
No, you're going to do the middle, then you're going to do front and back.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Fair
and then when you tighten these
starting
up,
with
make
those.
sure that you tighten, because one chain is going to cross over the other chain. Make sure that you tighten up the bottom chain first, and then the top chain, because if you tighten up the top chain, it's going to bind down on the bottom chain and prevent it from tightening it up. And you're going to go, why is this chain loose? You know, I tightened it up. It's tight. You feel in the binder, and you're like, oh my God, that's plenty of tension there. It's because the other chain's binding it down. So this one, everybody got a kind of handle on it? All right. Something else to consider?
You strap in between the chains?
You can. And now if you start talking about weight, and you start talking about length, and you run out of chains, because a lot of times you may have 40-foot product, and then you got to stack a 20-foot product on top of that. Well, that's going to be 4 sets of cross chains. How many chains is that?
You're talking 8 chains.
That's 8 chains out of your 12 that's used up in just cross chains. Now you've only got 4 chains left. for the entire load, yeah, then you're talking about well-padded straps to supplement, to fit the 5-foot rule, and your weight for how much securement you need.
If we were to stack on this, and we use straps with that, using straps would be a lot more sensible than using chain.
No,
then
your
we're worried
chains are the better option for something like this, but again, supplementing with straps,
Okay.
kind of like a coil. Could you use straps to secure a coil? Yes, you can. Is that the best option?
No.
No, it's not.
What about alternating? I'm throwing out these ideas because
I'm saying on this, it's pretty simple. Run out of chains, then you can use straps.
Okay.
Kind of like a coil.
So start with the chains.
Yeah,
as the
chains
base
for
foundation.
Start with the chains. Once you run out of those, then
go to
go
straps.
to straps.
Okay.
That's your best option.
Okay.
I mean, is the other way legal? Okay, probably. Is the other way, could it work? Yes, it could. Is it your best option? No. I could argue the better option is run out of chains, then supplement with straps. Is how I think of it.
Makes sense. Because it's going to be lighter stuff on the top anyway. Usually.